Welcome to this explainer. Today we're diving into some source material that honestly might just completely shift how you see the world around you. We're going to take everyday physical elements, things you interact with literally every single day, but probably never give a second thought to, and we're going to transform them into these profound spiritual reflections. It's like unlocking the hidden architecture of the natural world. So get ready to look past the surface and discover the extraordinary layers of meaning woven right into the fabric of nature. Let's get right into it. So, take a deep breath, slow down for a second, and really ask yourself, is what we see the only reality? In our modern, hyper-connected world, we're just constantly bombarded with visual noise, right? We're trained to believe that if we can't see it, touch it, or measure it, well, it simply isn't real. We rely entirely on the visible. But what if that reliance is actually humanity's biggest blind spot? What if the absolute most powerful, the most encompassing parts of our reality are the ones we're completely overlooking?
This duality here is absolutely profound. When we look merely with our physical eyes, all we really see is the form. A tree, a rock, a random gust of wind. It's totally surface level. But when we shift that and look with the heart, observing the quiet, subtle movements of nature, we actually start noticing the signs. We move way beyond just the physical form to see the incredible, hidden depths that these everyday elements actually represent. And to prove that the unseen is infinitely more powerful than the seen, just think about the unseen forces driving us. You can't physically see love, right? But you can undeniably see how it completely transforms a person. You can't put a finger on the mind, yet it literally directs the entire course of your life. You can't photograph the soul, but it's the very thing sustaining your body. The most powerful, driving elements of our existence are entirely invisible. And nature works the exact same way. It operates silently, totally without display, but with overwhelming force. All right, moving on to Section 1. The Four Thrones, the Invisible Architecture.
Okay, before we start looking at the elements themselves, we really need to understand this concept of rububia. Now, the term thrones here, we're not talking about literal, physical chairs sitting somewhere up in the clouds. Actually, scratch that. It's more like metaphorical realms. They are fields of manifestation. These are the avenues through which divine rububia, which is that nurturing, governing, and sustaining power, actually becomes visible to us right here on Earth. Think of them as mirrors reflecting ultimate order and purpose.
So how exactly do these elements map out? Well, consider four seemingly lifeless things: air, water, light, and earth. Air acts as the throne of command, manifesting divine will. Water, which, by the way, remarkably covers over 70% of our globe and holds molecules older than our actual sun, is the throne of grace, showing pure mercy. Light is the throne of knowledge, revealing wisdom. And earth is the throne of preservation, demonstrating the power of life itself. Even though these physical elements are completely unconscious, the extraordinary, highly ordered work they perform faithfully witnesses to divine unity, or Tawhid. They are essentially the invisible hands managing life on earth.
Section 2. The Wind's Secret. Air and Water. Let's start by zooming in on these incredibly dynamic, moving forces. Look at air. It is totally invisible, yet it reaches absolutely everywhere. And what's truly mind-blowing is the sheer mathematics and order involved here. Right at this very second, massive global air currents are simultaneously carrying the sound of my voice, transporting pollen to reproduce plant life, and moving billions of tons of water in clouds just to nourish the Earth. Millions of complex actions are unfolding all at once, without a single collision or moment of confusion. It acts as this incredibly obedient servant, really showcasing the speed and all-encompassing nature of a higher command and will.
Then we have water, the throne of grace and mercy. Think about the physical nature of water for a second. It is incredibly soft. It literally slips right through your fingers. Yet, over time, that same soft water carves through solid rock and shapes entire mountains. Water is the ultimate face of divine generosity. Sustenance, cleanliness, the very continuation of life itself, it all depends on it. And there's a brilliant psychological truth hidden in here too. A person understands the mercy of water most deeply in moments of thirst. Actually, feeling thirst is what allows us to truly recognize the provider.
Just listen to the reverence in this thought. Quietly bent the grass, denying not the unseen breeze. Every trembling movement carried traces of a hidden decree. The grass doesn't shout, the breeze is completely unseen, yet absolutely everything in that interaction is obeying an intricate, perfectly balanced hidden order. Nature submits without making a single sound.
Next up, Section 3, the Earth's memory, light and soil.
Light is just fascinating. As the throne of knowledge and wisdom, we really need to realize that light isn't merely physical illumination. Think about it. A room exists exactly the same way in pitch darkness as it does in broad daylight, but you can't understand it or navigate it without light. When light enters, meaning suddenly appears. It unveils the hidden order embedded within creation. It makes the invisible totally visible, serving as the ultimate symbol for knowledge itself.
And then, of course, there is the earth, the soil, the throne of preservation and revival. The earth is remarkably silent and incredibly humble. I mean, we literally walk all over it every day, yet it holds these immense secrets. It acts like a vast, completely secure vault. It preserves countless creatures and hides seeds that seem entirely decayed and dead. It's the physical manifestation of the giver of life, just silently waiting to perform the miracle of revival.
This biological cycle perfectly illustrates a profound universal truth. A tiny seed falls into the earth. It's buried, and to our eyes, it seemingly disappears forever. But the earth remembers. When the appointed time arrives, the conditions perfectly align, and against all odds, a fragile sprout emerges from the dark dirt, eventually exploding into vibrant leaves and blossoms. The earth teaches us this beautiful lesson. What appears entirely lost, dead, or totally forgotten may actually be perfectly preserved, just waiting for its appointed time.
Moving on to Section 4, Reclaiming Wonder, the Human Heart.
Let's bring this right back to your own personal life. We just looked at how the earth buries seeds, waits for spring, and preserves life. Now, consider the human heart. Is it really any different? We all have buried sorrows. We have waiting hopes. We have prayers quietly hidden deep within us. In our hearts, things often appear entirely lost, just like that tiny seed in the dead of winter. But the profound reminder of the natural world is that your hidden hopes and your silent prayers are never truly lost. They are beautifully preserved, just waiting for their own spring.
And this brings us to a really stark contrast in how we live our daily lives. The human ego is, well, it's frankly exhausting. It constantly seeks elevation, it chases grand things, loud events, and needs constant validation. It always wants to be above everything else. But truth? Truth, much like the earth itself, remains below everything else, right under our feet, yet all life rises through it. Truth grows through humility. It really doesn't need to shout to be powerful.
Consider this thought for a moment. The earth appears silent, yet within it, countless springs remain. The heart that lowers itself discovers truths hidden deep within. There is a direct, absolutely undeniable connection here between physical humility and spiritual discovery. By lowering ourselves, by consciously abandoning the constant noise of the ego, we actually unlock the truths that are already planted right inside us.
But here's the modern illusion we're all kind of trapped in. We are consuming absolutely everything way too quickly. We scroll, we swipe, we rush from one thing to the next. We look at things without ever truly seeing them. We touch things without actually feeling them. And the ultimate tragedy here is that we are losing our fundamental sense of wonder. When the magical transformation of a dead seed into a towering tree starts to look completely ordinary and boring to us, we have lost our connection to the unseen truth. We have effectively trapped ourselves in the noise.
So what exactly is the antidote? Well, nature never rushes. Because truth doesn't shout, it reveals itself quietly. Reclaiming your wonder, choosing to intentionally slow down your consumption, and deliberately observing the world with your heart instead of just your physical eyes, that is the gateway. Slowing down is exactly how we escape the illusion.
I really want to leave you with this final provocative thought today. If even a handful of silent, humble soil holds profound truths about life, preservation, and divine power, what secrets are waiting for you right now in your everyday life if you would just simply slow down and notice? The architecture of wonder is literally all around you. You just have to be willing to see it. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I highly encourage you to take a walk outside today, look at the trees, feel the wind on your face, and really truly see them. I'll catch you next time.